The ex-Playboy model that had spoken out about Andrew Tate after speaking to him on Instagram and then seeing him at the Mayweather-Deji fight, which was picked up on camera, has given her side to the recent allegations she's put about him being controlling towards her. Now, she speaks about their DMs and also claims she wasn't rejected at that fight and reveals what Andrew Tate had said to her. I just want to clarify before you guys see this, she's not a woman that Andrew Tate is defending himself at. There's no allegations actually put towards him. She's just saying that she's seen that he was controlling towards her. I want to get you guys' opinions on this. I mean, this lady has jumped on the bandwagon all of a sudden after he got arrested, and we've already criticised her in the past, but she goes into detail about why she thinks Andrew Tate is controlling, but it's nothing to do with the actual case that he's facing. And he hasn't done anything actually to her other than say words over IG that she believes is wrong. Lastly guys, I actually haven't seen the DMs that she's talking about. They could exist and they couldn't. What's you guys' opinions on this situation? Let's get into it.
Prove a point, because for people to be writing to me, oh, you're lying, because they're so obsessed with a guy they've never met in their life, that they fail to understand that you have to take these accusations seriously. And I did have aggressive messages that were sent to me that back up exactly what the accusers have said.
Okay, and can you give us a bit of an idea of what the messages said exactly and what treatment you received? And maybe Slimane could respond to that if he has anything to say. And also, just for the audience, I know I just was looking at your profile, Carla. First, I'm humbled that you're following me. I'm guessing you followed me just to go into the space. But we don't know each other. We've never spoken before. No. And this is the first time you come onto the space, just for clarity for the audience. But yeah, Carla, so what did those messages say before we get into the Vice
Sorry,
discussion?
1 second. I'll just...
That's all right. What I recommend to anyone that calls you during a space for the panel, just block them. And then remember to unblock them after the space.
Basic, just find now. 1 second.
You ready, by the way, Nick? So we can kick it off with the Vice documentary after Carla. Perfect. Carla, you with us?
Yeah, sorry, 1 second. I'm just finding.
Yeah, all good. All good. By the way, I just see Richard's up on stage. So, Richard, good to have you, man. Feel free to jump in at any time, or just put your hand up. We've got a nice structure in place with Slimane and Sam kind of will be leading most of the discussion in a bit. And we're going to dive into the Vice documentary right after the discussion with Carlo. Nick,
yeah, so
the documents.
I think things kind of went wrong when I said that I was going away with another girl on holiday. And then he was basically saying, you better not cheat on me, do not talk to other men, and don't go party in Marbella, stay in the hotel and wait for me. And I was kind of like, at first I did take it as a joke until the messages continue being that aggressive way. And then he was basically saying, like, you need to obey your man, me, and saying that he was nice and loyal, which how can you be loyal if you're able to do what you want with other girls, but yeah, I'm not. And I think from that point is where it switched, when he knew I was going on holiday with another girl.
And did it ever escalate beyond that? So that kind of paints his character with Slimane. You kind of made an argument that this is, a lot of cultures have that, those boundaries in place, or that relationship.
But you've got to bear in mind that we had never met, and then he was saying, like, I don't trust you, they're bullshit, you're going to do drugs and drink, you're going to party and all these things. And I was like, what the hell? And then
but were you just working with him, or you were together?
What do you mean?
So were you in a relationship, or just
no? This was before we'd actually ever met, that he was giving this type of aggression before we'd ever met. This was on Instagram because he DM'd me out of the blue, and then he was like, were you good on holiday? Did you behave? And how do I know you were good? And then he was saying, answer, it's a normal question, like in capitals, like aggressively asking me, had I behaved on holiday, and accusing me of doing drugs and drinking. Bearing in mind, this is when we'd never met, before we'd even met, and then he was calling himself my man and all these things before we'd met.
And how did it evolve after you met? Was your personal experience of him as a person? Was he nice to you? Was he a gentleman? Or did you sense this kind of two sides to his character when you actually met him in person?
I think I'd say there's two sides. I think there's like a side on the internet, and then there's another side. But I do think from when we met in person, I did see a bit of an aggressive side. And also, I literally have the messages which are identical to the ones that girls were saying. He wrote to them claiming that he's your man, and then saying to me, "Oh, come to Romania," and all of these things. And he was asking me to come to Romania. And apparently, the girls who were lured there, he said he was their boyfriend, and he said that I was his boyfriend. So you can't literally counteract the fact that I have identical messages to what these girls were saying. He wrote to them also.
So, Carla, after you
I've
met,
got a question. Sorry,
oh,
Sam.
sorry, yeah, Karen.
So, Carla, if you can just give us a timeline of events. So, you initially text him when?
No, I never ever text him.
He texted you. Sorry,
he DM'd me on Instagram last February.
Right.
It was him that contacted me, and he said, "Are you in London?" And then he basically, I'd never heard of him. I didn't know who he was, but everyone was like, "Oh my God, that guy follows you on Instagram. Have you seen what he says about women?" And I unfollowed him when everyone said that, because I was like, shit, if he has this. So when I saw he followed me, I followed back, and I was like, people were DMing me saying he's disgusting, unfollow, which I did. And then he continued to DM me, but I was like, he seems pretty nice from his beginning messages. So I wasn't listening to other people's views on him at the beginning.
So how did the meeting come about?
Yeah. How did it progress? Because you said that you never met for a while. So you basically, last February, he texted you for the first time, 2021.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing you both text over what period of time?
Over the period till August, when his Instagram account was removed.
And when did the Spain thing happen where he basically told you not to go?
Oh, that was in June.
I'm trying to work out, like, when did you physically meet him? And what happened? And why did you?
I met him in November in Dubai.
But yeah, what happened in there? Because so
a lot of people. I also want to clarify.
Sorry, Carla, let me just. Just so the viewers know the timeline. So last February 2021, you were texting each other. You continued texting each other till
August, when his account was removed.
That's right. But before that, in June, he told you not to go to Spain. And then you continued texting until August. And then his account got blocked, so you stopped texting. And then in November, you met him in Dubai. It's a video that's gone viral. If you could tell us about that.
And I just want to clarify, because obviously the Andrew Tate army, people have been writing so much lies about that video. But I just want to clarify that not once in that video was I told to go home or go away. People are that delusional. That was my own video that if a videographer at the Dubai Mayweather fight filmed and randomly said to me later, "Oh, I filmed you and Tate talking." And then afterwards I wrote to him, he said to me, "I'll put that on TikTok randomly." And afterwards I was like, what the hell, people are making up things over the wording. Like, he said go home, he said this. Why would I continue talking to a guy if he said go home? Like, they're literally talking a load of shit. Never once did he say that to me. Like, it's people to make up this bizarre lie is just beyond me. But his own guy that I saw posted a video about me also, Tamar Khan, whatever his name is. He even said, "Oh, she got shy and walked away." It's like, yeah, he even didn't say in his own little speech against me that he told me to go home, because he knows that he never did either. They're so delusional that people are making up their own narrative, which they haven't seen the messages. It's just embarrassing that people are writing this bullshit.
I guess
was this the only time you met him, Carla?
Yeah, it was. It was, yeah.
So Carla, I guess I think people have two questions, and this is just from Tate people, so you get an opportunity to respond to this. The first thing is that obviously Tam Khan was sat next to you, and he said that you approached. So this is the first question. I'll let you answer them both. That you approached them, and the second point are Andrew Tate. And I guess the second question people have is that in the video, Andrew Tate is like pointing to his eyes and then pointing to the ring.
I want to clear up that bit, because everyone keeps saying that he's like, "Oh, I'm watching the boxing." No, he didn't. I was explaining to him that I was about to get into the ring with Mayweather, and he said, "I'll keep my eye on you." And everyone's putting this false things. He's saying, "I'm watching the boxing. Fuck off," basically. No, he did not say that. Like, it's so delusional that people are making up these lies. And how the fuck can you tell me what a guy said to me when I am standing there talking to him? Like, it's delusional. And the videographer that was even there was like, "Oh, ignore everyone, just don't listen to them." But I'm like, I can't have people writing lies. Like, I'm in that bloody conversation. I think I know what he said to me.
And so did you the second question was, did you approach him?
Yeah, I did approach him. It's clear to see I approached him in that video. Yeah,
I think Raphael might have something to say. Raphael, do you want to add something?
But yeah, I think the other question that's going through a lot of people's minds that you've had messages from is, if he was so aggressive with you in the messages back in August, you already had a very bad feeling about him through the messages, which you said was extremely controlling. Nothing. We're still, I think, oceans apart from the allegations that he's been charged with, but very aggressive male bravado type messages, and all these people have already told you, oh, he's a bad guy, and you yourself are personally put off. Why would you go and approach this person in such a public event?
Well, I think just because it was such a public event and I was literally getting in the ring with Mayweather, if you've got that many people around and security and stuff, and you'd been back and forth messaging with a guy, like, you feel safe and secure within that environment that you can talk to someone. It wasn't private. It was literally thousands around. Like, there was security everywhere. This was next to the ring. So I was in a secure enough environment to go up to him. Like, it wasn't in that moment anything to second question that moment. Like, I wasn't going back to a hotel or nothing with him, and he actually was like, oh, let's catch up after, because I was about to go in the ring, and then a fight broke out with him and Logan Paul. But yeah, people don't understand when they're saying that. It doesn't mean anything for me to go up to someone in a public space where there's security. I even had my own security walking to and from the changing room. Like, of course I felt safe within that moment. If it was me going back to a hotel or something with him, that would have been a whole different story, which I wouldn't have done. And he had all these guys with him. Like, I didn't know who the hell the people were with him either.
I just like also to make a quick distinction that the things that you mentioned in your text message exchange, DM exchanges with Andrew Tate, they're not really entirely surprising, because everything that he preaches about in his podcast, in his kind of manosphere world, is in line with what he told you, that women should be loyal, women shouldn't go and get involved in depraved activities, they shouldn't go out, they shouldn't do drugs. Well, he says that about men also, but he's particular about the loyalty part for women. So I don't know if that adds all that much new information from what you're saying.
But what I'm saying is that when he was saying to me all the stuff, oh, you better be loyal, you better not cheat on me on holiday, I was like, I literally have been told by people that online you are always saying men can do what they want, but the girls can't. So I obviously called him out on that. But people are not understanding the context. I'm simply saying that the way that he wrote to me is literally identical replica of what the so-called alleged victims are saying that he did with them too. So I'm like, he did ask me to come to Romania. What was behind the motive of me going there? Like, I don't know to this day. Obviously I refused and was like, I cannot go Romania to see a guy I've never met, because one of my friends who's even from there was like, why the hell would you go to Romania? And she's from there herself, and she was like, baby's dodgy, why would a rich guy be living in Romania?
Well, I'd just like to say it's not exactly identical, because those women claim that they tried to, they're talking about rape and coercion and sequestering. So it's not actually completely one-to-one. And, many women like to go and hang out with these kinds of playboy, rich type of men. This is not, I don't know why all of a sudden this fact is being treated as some sort of a taboo. It's just just the world. That's how it works. I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just commenting, socially.
Saying, I literally know a girl from one of my sister knows a girl who's not in she's not in the media whatsoever. She's married and has kids now, and she'll never come out and talk about Andrew Tate. And she's got a tattoo with him on her. And she randomly showed my sister messages from 5 years ago between her and Andrew Tate. And she said she was stranded in Romania because he got her to webcam for him and didn't pay her anything, and he wouldn't give her passport. And this is a girl who hasn't even spoken out. And I was like, so I wanted to find out deeper what the hell's going on. And she reckons he took her passport and she was stranded in Romania. This was 5 years ago. So you're forgetting that these claims haven't just come out of nowhere.
I want to know, Syrian Girl, you want to jump in on this one? Before you jump in, Syrian Girl, first I just want to give credit to Carla for coming on stage and sharing the story. So whether we disagree or believe or don't believe the story, obviously if it's a lie, it's a different story, but it doesn't look like it.
It's not a lie. I literally have the evidence to back it up.
Yeah, I know, and we've spoken to people to kind of verify all that. And Syrian Girl, I'm just going to mute you because there's feedback sound on your end. So Carla, I just want to again give you the credit for coming up on stage, and thank you for this. To be having to answer those questions. It was very difficult for us to get victims of Andrew Tate victims or people that had a relationship that had, wanted to criticize Andrew to come on stage. So even people supporting Andrew, it's just important to give them the respect. You could disagree with respect. And I want to, before going to Syrian, I also want to give a shout out.
A lot of people are tweeting me like, "Oh, you can't post the screenshots. Are they that stupid? Like, I would be sued. They're that dumb."
Yeah. So posting screenshots like this, you wouldn't be sued if the screenshots are accurate, would you?
No, but I'm saying they're accurate. And for people to say to me, post the screenshots, like, are they that stupid to think it would not? Like, I literally posted them on my TikTok before this whole thing happened because people were like, "Oh, you went up to him." It's like, no, he's been DMing me for 6 months. He DM'd me, not the other way around.
So yeah, she puts across her side and her thoughts on Andrew Tate from the time that she spoke to him and see him in person for a very brief period. Now, she also said in it that after he had that altercation with Logan Paul, I believe she said, but it was actually Jake Paul he got into an altercation with. But aside from that, her points are kind of strange because there's no actual evidence of him doing anything to her. He said that she was controlling, it wasn't really orders. I don't know if the context was suggestions, we haven't actually seen the screenshots. But she was getting advice not to go to Spain and do certain things. But I don't think there was any sort of threat to back it up with or anything he was saying that would make it seem controlling. But we'd have to see the screenshots for full context, which she doesn't want to put out because she says backlash from the fans. There is barriers between things and there has to be context involved. I mean, her saying that Andrew Tate thinks that she shouldn't go to Spain to party with her girls is very different to a rape charge that he is facing. But she does lose a lot of credit to her argument when she says, one, that she found out a lot of things about him and what he was all about and continued to speak to him despite being concerned. 2, she approached him in person. She said there was security around. Regardless, you would not want to approach someone that you think is controlling or just a bad person and act friendly to them. 3, she's come out at the same time as these victims. Why before he got arrested did she not say herself that he's controlling? I get power comes in numbers, but again, you can't just wait to get on a bandwagon for something, otherwise you are going to be called out for it, regardless if it's true or not. But guys, surely if this story is true, it could have been as simple he seemed controlling on DMs, so I blocked him, removed him off my social media, and when I see him in person, I avoided him. But this situation has just been dragged on. I'm not trying to say what she said is true either. I'm just saying at the worst case, if it was true, there's no crimes being committed, so it's not relevant to the actual charges he's facing. It's just a pointless character assassination attempt here and jumping on, like I said, a bandwagon. We just see recently a footballer called Benjamin Mendy be accused of numerous counts of rape and been proven innocent of 6. What do you guys think? Leave a like and subscribe with the notification bell.